the record button, and I'm going to introduce Kim Demling from our WebMD Living Well program. And Kim has had a very colorful series of jobs. She's done a little bit of everything. Kim, if you want to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your journey, and then we will let you take over for our worksite well-being, wellness committees, and living well.
All right, excellent. Hello, thank you so much for joining. And Mimi, thank you so much for allowing me to team up with you and be part of this amazing institute. My name is Kim Demling, and I am your regional wellbeing coordinator. I serve for really for the co-branded WebMD and Kentucky Employee Health Plan, the areas of Jefferson County, Northern Kentucky, and Northeast Kentucky. And as Mimi said, I'm a preventionist to the core. I have been working, I think this is my 29th year, and my career, probably unlike most of yours, has really been backwards. So I did public health right out of EKU, even though I have a degree in public and community health, but first and foremost a K through 12 health education only, because I dropped out of nursing school about halfway through and wanted to do prevention. So in doing so, never finished up, I think, 14 hours of physical education. So I am a health education specialist, but a movement specialist, I feel like, because I've been teaching fitness classes since I've been like 17 years old. So how can you be a great health educator without being an amazing movement specialist? So I have taught at the University of Louisville health and PE preparation for like 13 years after my stint in public health. Then I went to high school classroom. Then I joined JCPS a couple years ago and have taught middle school health at Highland Middle School and at Westport Middle School. And now I'm back into employee wellness. So I talk fast. I haven't had too much coffee today, but I think I've had enough. And I am going to just share with you a couple of things. I definitely want it to be interactive. And since we have 26 people, feel free to throw things in the chat. If I don't get to it during this presentation, you all, I'm happy to get with you all one-on-one and do, lots of this. So first of all, WebMD's mission is to empower organizations and their populations to improve well-being through personalized strategic partnerships. One of those strategic partnerships, obviously, is my relationship with JCPS and trying to get high, and very quality engagement in the area of employee well-being, employee worksite wellness, and workplace wellness. And as we all know, in the last year, that's been very transitional. And, who knows, could continue to be. So wherever you consider your worksite or your workplace is really what we're trying to change the culture of. And my agenda is packed. So a little bit about the vendors, an overall registration look, an overall review, hopefully get up and do a couple of activities, but also Q&A. So feel free to be as informal as you would like to be. First of all, just looking at, I think that a couple things at the beginning are going to be a review. However, because some of you are new, I think it's a great thing to go back and just revisit. So don't forget, when we left No Child Left Behind a long time ago to Every Student Succeeds, the ESSA, we have really built around this model. So this model of WISC, right, the whole school, whole community, whole child, has taken huge precedence over our work, how that relates to how we deal with our students, how we look at our community. And it also has set us as health and physical educators at the table because we obviously, with a lot of these changes, have said, hey, we want to be part of all of the content areas. So if you look at that, here is the 10 WISC model components, and you can see that I've arrowed employee wellness. Do I feel like that all of us are experts in this entire wheel? Maybe not. If we got to be a little bit more experts in different areas, would we probably collaborate better and meet our students and our community needs better? Maybe. So I think that's what I want to do as the challenge. Here we are, physical environment, the school climate, health services, like on and on and on, health and physical education, we're all here at the table. So just wanted to kind of mention that that's the reason that I wanted to combine what we at WebMD offer as our expertise in this area of employee wellness, but really it's totally interrelated, right? Everything that we do here around this wheel, the more that we collaborate and integrate these pieces, right, all of these components, we are going to have a healthier work environment, environment, we're going to have better students, et cetera, et cetera. So the child tenants, you already know, for them to be healthy, for them to be challenged, for them to be supported, for them to be engaged, for them to be safe. And really, even though this is the five whole child tenant, it's us too, right? We are adults, and it's important for us to be engaged, for us to be healthy. And in order to do that, we can then really project and integrate a different environment. So how do we do this? We do this via partnerships with local health departments, with hospitals, with business and industry, through our social services, those within the district and those outside of the district, with parks and recreation, with law enforcement, with, churches, and a spiritual component, is definitely inclusive. There are guides all over the place. And so if you want to learn more about that, or feel like you are a younger professional and need that, please reach out to us. We are happy to get you linked into understanding that model a little bit better. Could be that you don't even need to be listening to this. It could be that you could be the one presenting, right? You might be doing lots of these things, but I just wanted to kind of broad brushstroke what the WISC model is and how it is in action. So probably one of the better ways to do that is to be involved and or create your own school health team. That could take on, you all, millions of different names, right? I have seen it everything from health and wellness committee to well-being committee to, it has a ton of titles. And it isn't like that me as a consultant or as a program manager for the state of Kentucky is trying to out there recruit people to do more, right? We don't want people to do more or work harder. We just want people to work smarter and to look at what's happening in your school building and how you can, as a champion for health education, as a champion for being part of a wellness team, or just exercising your own employee well-being, being a part of that. So some of the things that you probably have already seen are working with nutrition services, and I think JCPS does an amazing role with that, with Andrea at the helm over there. Schools and teachers staffed with good nutrition, principals, having an opportunity to push out some, if it's not an e-newsletter, some kind of notifications about, hey, eating output and input, this is not some rocket science, right? We're all very, very aware that in order to be healthier, physical health is one component. It is not the total component. As we and also know by various examples, what we're all trying to do is we are trying to improve our health. We're trying to improve the health of Kentucky as a state. You and your district obviously have an interest in that, because we don't want lots and lots of visits to health offices, to the school nurse. We want higher attendance. I'm not sure. I know that 2 or 3 years ago, there was a huge push within JCPS to try to hold the absences at 6. I think it was called like 6 a year. And there was a huge campaign done at a couple of the schools that I remember. So I know that school attendance is hugely important, as we all know. So how do we get those, kids that are missing 16 days a year to continue to decrease, improve cognitive performance? That's never going to go away. So coordinating all of this, how do we do it? We need to collaborate. We need to obviously recognize these component areas. We need to facilitate the awareness of these, right? Just doing an awareness campaign in your school quarterly, that could be part of your entire wellness committee plan. Leveraging some resources. I am one of those, right? I can provide you all kinds of resources via WebMD, through mine and Mimi's partnerships and what we're trying to do with the district, through mine and Mimi's involvement in SHAPE, in Kentucky SHAPE, and we're active regionally, we're active in American SHAPE. So we have lots of resources that we want to reach out and just offer to you, and are happy to do that anytime. And then just really trying to make sure that all the programming that happens within the district is filling a gap, right? It is, I always call it like the Swiss cheese. Where are the small holes? Where are the big holes? How can I help to fill those in? And how can I help to make sure that a lot of these resources are not duplicated, right? That's a waste. So let's just try to think about that as one of the factors. Again, policy obviously is a piece of this. Time allotment, what are our assets? How do we prioritize those? All of these things are parts of that WISC model in action. And it's live, right? It's always going to change, but to just keep all of those things on our periphery at different times. Steps to adopting this WISC model focus on buy-in. I don't think that's anything new, right? We need buy-in from our administrative leaders. We need them to be engaged. That's why Kentucky Shape has really tried to prioritize for the summertime offering that's going to be here in Louisville to bring a superintendent, bring your principal, get somebody involved that's on your leadership team, because the more buy-in and support you have, the higher, most highly likely that your programming is going to go somewhere, right? We can all sit here and create programs all day long, but if we don't have good buy-in and good support, sometimes those disappear. So we don't want all of that hard work to go for nothing. Identify a coordinator. You might be that person, somebody that's on that WISC team, model leadership team. Get a school team going. I think we talked about that. Plan some efforts, implement those efforts, and then reflect if you have to go back and tweak those because, hey, that didn't work. Or, hey, I saw that working at Blake Elementary. Why can't that work at my place? So just coming back to reflect and kind of, I just call it tweaking those, and obviously celebrating your successes. As a change of the game, for sure. We wanted a more well-rounded education for our students. We always have in health and physical education, and it's so cool that we are finally at the table, right? It is not all about numeracy and literacy. However, we are here. So 18 subjects, equal a well-rounded education. And now we as health and physical education specialists have a seat at the table. So what are we going to do with that? The School Health Index has a tool. You all are, I'm sure, very well versed in that. Has a big tool that they actually use, and I think they have an online consultant for the state of Kentucky. I used to be in that role, but then the funding went away. And there's lots of great resources, and again, we can hook you into those. So let's get up and move for just a second. I don't know, you can't see my screen, but I'm going to put myself right back on. Yes. Okay, let me back up my chair. Let's just breathe for a second. Big inhale up. Big exhale out. Ah, one more. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale out your mouth. Yes, arm circles would be good for a second. Stop. Go the other way. Make that range of motion bigger. How about ginormous? Your back stroking. Stop. Your front stroking. Butterfly. Yes, shoulder shrugs, right and left. Big space between what would be a big dangling earring and your shoulder, right? Relax. Good. How about shoulders back and down? Yes. Clasp behind your back. Very gently. Take that whole arm unit, start lifting it up. Gently, you're going to get a bigger chest stretch. Yes. All right. Opposite of my chest, my upper back. So bend those knees soft, clasp in front. Act like you've got one of those big resista balls right here all up in your grill. You're going up and over it. Yes. And again, relax the shoulders, right? A lot of us, I know I do, all the tensions right there in my trapezius and my neck muscles. So relax those shoulders. Yeah. Big inhale. Big exhale. One more. Okay. Cool. In case you didn't have a chance in that 2 minutes before you finished the last session, and then with me. All right. So let's move on. How can we ask you as employees of the state to practice prevention and to live preventatively without you understanding fully your vendor? So this is part of the presentation that I've done a million times. If you have seen this before, then I am not going to spend as much time. I'm going to kind of whiz through this. But you as a state employee have these vendors, right? You have Anthem as your medical, CVS as your pharmacy, Smart Shopper is your transparency. And this, if you don't know about it, is like your preventive screenings. So when you're 40 mammogram, when you're 50 colonoscopy, if you have a history, it may be, if they code that right, it might be younger than that. But if you find a colonoscopy, for instance, as a specific example, because your doctor says, hey, you're 50, you need a colonoscopy, and he schedules it. You get on Smart Shopper, you find a colonoscopy for cheaper than what it is in the clinic that he's recommending, then you get that cash back. So I have talked to 50 people across the state this year. They're like, oh, I really did. I got an $80 check straight from the state because I am a Smart Shopper and I shopped for a better deal. So please don't forget when it comes time for those big exams to use that. Health Equity took over WageWorks. They just acquisitioned it like we acquisition Staywell. That's all about your spending account, your flexible spending, your medical spending, your childcare spending accounts. And then Rethink, we have had a couple of webinars on Rethink this year. It was brand new as of 2020. So any anything behavioral. It could be your own kids, it could be your classroom kids. My kids, I have two sons. One, I don't know, had sleeping problems years ago. So instead of me paying out of pocket for a psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever, basically you have access to rethink benefits, which is all behavioral. And then here is us. So WebMD is your personal employee well-being expert. All right, so that being said, let's do an overview. Who is eligible? Anybody that has insurance through the Kentucky Employee Health Plan are eligible to participate in the Living Well program. All right. Even employees who waive. I just talked to somebody this morning in Northern Kentucky, and she's like, I didn't know that. And I said, yes, that was a big change. So for 7 or 8 years with Go365, they never approved waivers. It was always, no, 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 no. Now, if you're on your spouse's, your partner's insurance, you are eligible. MT portal. However, only the plan holder is eligible. So, yes.
You just froze, so you might want to turn your camera back
off. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thanks, Mimi. Yes, so one more time. As a waiver, if you have, if you're on your spouse's or your partner's insurance, then you still can use the WebMD Living Well program. But it is only for the plan holder. It is not for spouses or dependents like it was back with Go365. So from 2020 on, KEHP has decided to have this for the plan holder only. Okay, what is the Living Well program? The Living Well program encompasses two components. One is the Living Well Promise, that is not new over the last 8 years, but the other one is the Living Well engagement activities. So all the things that you can do that will earn you points and bucks into your employee wellness account. All right, so employee Living Well Promise is coming up, right? The deadline for that is July 1. So please, if you know any peeps that have not done that, they need to get that done. So let's talk about it. Who, what, when, where. It is for all plan holders who are enrolled in any medical plan through KEHP. If both of you are state employees as a married couple or partners, you both would have to complete it. Okay, if it's just you, then obviously you're completing this Living Well Promise. What is it? It is your promise to do one of two things. You do not have to do both of these. It's an either or. You need to get on your account and create it and do the online health assessment, or you need to do a biometric screening. Now listen, the biometric screenings have been a little tricky this year because the health departments who have contracted with us to provide these have not had the capacity in lots and lots of counties across Kentucky. So therefore, if you have not done a biometric screening, you still can very easily do that through creating your account, downloading the biometric screening form for 2021 and taking it to your primary care doc or any LabCorp in the state. Okay, those are the only two entities that we have the capability of having that data that comes from your screening going straight into your account. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. Your health assessment can be completed on creating an account via kehplivingwell.com, or you can upload for free or so Waze, Wellness at Your Side mobile app. And then you can create your account on there and then just, start answering those modules if you're doing the health assessment, or again, download the biometric screening form and take it and get that done. You only have 3 more weeks. So please, please, please get that done. What it does is obviously it helps you to learn more about your health so that you can make behavior changes if you need to, or maintain your awesome healthy lifestyle that you've already worked very hard to achieve. But equally as important, it's going to save you $40 a month or $480 for 2022. Everyone who does not complete this Living Well Promise will be paying $480 more in insurance premiums for next year, the year 2022. Okay, I wanted to give you just the biggest bang for your buck. So I looked through all of the different activities and thought, okay, what would everybody want to know? Here's what I came up with. Here's how you can get the most money and or points in your bank, right? Your health assessment is worth 25 bucks. Your biometric screening is as well. We have a brand new monthly step average award. So if you average 7,500 steps a day for 10 months of the year, you can get an extra 10 bucks into your account. So your maximum 200, 100 of that can be steps. Now remember, our program is not super physical activity heavy in terms of emphasis. So only 100 or half of your $200 earnings can come through activity. The rest of it, we want you to be thinking about all the other dimensions of health, not just physical, the physical dimension. So getting preventative exams, you can have up to 5 a year, and they're 10 bucks a piece. So you can earn up to $50 by logging in your preventative exams. All you need to do is do your date of service underneath there, what it is, and then what date. Health coaching, if you want to call in and get a health coach, or you've already been contacted and you said yes to a health coach, you can earn $30 out of that 200 max by doing 3 sessions at $10 each. Now you can see your coach and talk to your coach all year, but reward wise, you only get $10 times 3 visits, and you get that on the next time you create an appointment. So you talk to your health coach, you sign up for your second one, and your first $10 goes in. Your third one, so that's how that works in terms of you getting to to look at those in your account. Daily Habits is a brand new behavior change program that really is like an electronic accountability. So there are like 12 programs in there. You choose one. And basically, what happens is as soon as you hit yes, let's just say I want quality sleep. I need better quality sleep. I click on sleep. It starts today. There's a program date end, which will be 4 weeks from today. So in the next 4 weeks, you'll get notifications if you get on and log on and you put information into your account under your Daily Habits log, you will get $25 at the end of that month. As you probably know, the STEP Invitational just ended last Tuesday. So if you participated, hopefully you have somewhere between $5 and up to $30 in your account. I think I see a couple of you shaking your head. Challenges, we have 2 more. So there'll be a fruit and vegetable challenge at the end of the summer. There'll be a stress less challenge that starts at the beginning of October, when obviously the holidays are right around the corner and it does get a little bit stressful. So if you participate in each one of those, you can earn up to $25 each for those challenges that remain for the remainder of the year 2021. And then because we had so much good momentum in financial fitness, we wanted to continue that with WebMD. So if you complete 6 of the 12 sessions, then you can have 15 bucks into your account. If you enter some of those KEHP benefits activities, you can earn 5 bucks each for those. And then if you download your Waze, that's Wellness at Your Side app or connected device, then you immediately get $5. So just wanted to kind of show you how easy that is to get and how much that can rack up very quickly. Okay, a quick test your knowledge. If you would, get in the chat and tell me, what 2 components make up the Living Well program? Number 2, how can you fulfill the Living Well promise? And number 3, what is the deadline date to complete the Living Well promise? Hopefully you like July 1. All right. If you have not registered yet and need to get in to create your account for using this brand new WebMD1 portal, here's how you do it. We're going to do 4 different things. We're going to create an account. We are going to maybe 3, sorry, create an account by putting in your registration ID. Then you're going to do number 2, some KBA. It's a knowledge-based authentication, 4 questions about your credit, questions like what is the address that you had most recently, whatever. Then the third thing you're going to do is verify your cell phone. So let's walk through this. In order to do a brand new account you offer 2021, you need to visit kehplivingwell.com, not through a Google search, but into your web address field. All right. Once you do that, you're going to create this, you're going to hit this create account button. It is white with blue writing in it. When you hit that, it's going to redirect you to a new login page. So when you get to the new login page, you're going to see these 2 logos, the KEHP state logo and the Living Well logo. When you get there in the redirect, you're going to hit create account again, right? So you're going to create a brand new account. Please do not click on forgot your password thinking that I needed my password from last year. No, every single bit of this is brand new and nothing from Stay Well carried over. So just go to create account. Next, you're going to go to this registration ID line, and underneath the line are some examples of what you're going to need to know your registration ID. You're going to need your 6-digit date of birth, followed by the first 2 letters of your first name in capitals. And lastly, right behind that with no spaces, no dashes, the last 4 digits of your social security number. When you put all of that in this registration ID, then you're going to move forward in your registration. You're going to do username. Underneath your username, you're going to create a password just like you do for the millions of accounts that you have. Underneath that, you're going to put in your date of birth after you re-put in your password. Then you're going to put in your email address that you want your electronic gift card code sent to. And you're just going to follow that. So like 6 little steps right here to complete that registration. Once you do that, you're going to get to the KBA, which is the knowledge-based authentication. You're going to answer these security questions. There's 4 of them. You will have 90 seconds to do so. If you don't, you'll have one more opportunity to retry. And then if you don't get those right the 3rd time, you will be kicked out for about 2 hours. Okay. It's just our way to make sure we don't have a security breach like we had last year. Then the last step is to set up your SMS text verification. You're going to put your phone number on this blue line. And then when you do that, you are going to get kicked back to your text on your phone, a verification code that will go right here. Once you click submit this button here, then you will obviously be directly into your account. Okay. If you do not have a cell phone, then you're going to have to need to call our helpline, which is 866-746-1316 in order to get a paper health assessment sent to your home. That is for people who do not have cell phones that cannot receive text message. Everyone else who can will be right in. And this is what you're going to see. So the very introduction quiz of 6 questions is a way to customize your portal. So your experience when you are, very brand new in here, just click that next. All it is kind of an introduction. Hey, welcome to WebMD1. Then based on you're on your My Health, which I think you see this blue button, you're only having 3 tabs to negotiate. Last year with Staywell, I think it was like 12. We're like, no, our Kentucky people do not want that. We want something simplified. So we have My Health, which is your home page. Once you get on, every time you get on, it'll say, hello, Mimi, whoever's account it is right here. And this is just a screenshot of a dummy account that I have. And again, answering those 6 questions helps to customize by doing that getting to know you quiz. It will personalize some of your health interests. It will give you some resources and articles to improve your health. And it will give you a benefits section where you can always go back to what your KEHP vendors are. These are tiles, these little squares that you see. And again, based on the customized questions from that getting to know you, you will find that there will be lots of things on there that you are asking about. When you do your health assessment, you will get a wellness score right here. Obviously, the health assessment can be done multiple times, but you can only earn your $25 the very first initial time that you do it. So again, it'll help you to give you some recommendations. It will help you learn your score. It will help you kind of give a big, broad brushstroke of your current health habits and your lifestyle choices. Your information is always secure with us. I will tell you, on this health assessment, there's a place there where you're asked all of the module questions that you can say, I don't know. So that's not going to ding you for not having completed it. Once you get on here, if it says, what is your triglycerides? And you haven't had a prevention exam this year yet, and you don't know, you can simply put, click the box that says, I don't know at this time. Same thing for a lot of your blood lipid values if you're not sure about those. And then later on, obviously, you can go back in and then fill them in when you have your health assessment done. I'm sorry, your biometric screening numbers done. Okay, I was talking about daily habits, the brand new button. We've not had anything like this before. So this just shows you that this person went ahead and clicked on enjoy an exercise plan. So this person wants to obviously work on exercise. When they click on start it, it gives you this start date and end date. It gives you daily or weekly prompts for you to stay on track. And then at the end of that 1 month, when you've done all of that information input, you are going to earn $25 into your account. Again, we have 12 or 13 of those. You can do them all, but you can only earn and get redemption points and bucks for 2 of them. So $50 out of your you can see in the dummy account, the picture that I took right here of a screenshot, it says congratulations. So immediately you see a green check mark that says done. You've earned your incentive points of that. You're not going to have to pay that extra $480 for 2020. And it tells you the date of which you have completed your Living Well promise. Underneath that, you can just scroll down and you can find all the different activities and engagement things that you can do to earn. So a really, really important button, and we tried to make that super easy. If you cannot find anything, then what you need to do is hover over this 3 horizontal lines at the top. That's basically, I call it the hamburger, but it is like, anything else that you want to find. So if you hover over that, you'll find go to health assessment, get a health coach, find my benefits, all of that. And then this is just a picture of what the device connection page looks like, shows you all the various apps that you can sync to. You can connect a variety of different apps and devices to your WebMD One account. You can download your Wellness at Your Side mobile app and sign in with your WebMD One username and password. So you don't have to do an entirely different account on your phone. Whatever one you've already established on your computer, just use that same username and password to get in on your app, on your Waze app. And then Apple Health and Google Fit can be connected through your mobile app. When you do that, here's what you see. So the Wellness at Your Side, when you go to your Apple Store, for example, or Google Play, you start typing in under search wellness at, and then it'll pop up Wellness at Your Side. Here is what the logo looks like. It's a white square with web in blue and MD in capitals in black. There might be a couple of those, so make sure you look for health services because it's a humongous company. The first thing it's going to ask you is, in this circle, what is your connection code? Your connection code will always be KEHP. And then here is what it's going to look like on your mobile app. So it'll say your name up here at the top, these little circles that have different types of preventative kind of activities and maybe even some therapeutic things will just basically come from your customization questions that you answered. Connecting Apple Health, this might be a tad bit tricky. I've talked to lots of people in Kentucky about who own Apple Watches, like how to make sure that you get this accomplished. So here's what you're going to need to do. Apple Health can be connected to your account via the Wellness at Your Side mobile app. Upon logging into the app for the first time, you're going to be asked if you want to allow access. If you say don't, then you're going to have to dump that app altogether, like completely delete it and then reinstall it, because what you want to do is hit this first arrow, which is allow, and then you're going to have to go down to turn all the categories on instead of off, because it's going to be staying on off unless you switch that. So don't forget, select OK, then select the data that you want to share. If you want to toggle this over and get rid of sleep analysis and just do steps and wait, whatever it is that you want to do. But if you switch here, then it'll just tell you to turn them all on instead of being on off. Couple of people have forgotten to do that. If you click cancel and you wish to connect it later, don't forget, you're going to have to delete that app completely and then reinstall it. There's how to verify your Apple connection. So as a general review, I think some of the biggies coming out of here are the Living Well Promise. The deadline is July 1st. You must complete either the health assessment or a biometric screening. It is for the plan holder only. Living Well engagement activities you can track through your My Rewards tab on the WebMD One portal. You can earn up to $200 maximum in rewards. You may earn way more than that point, you all. If you earn 310 points, that's fine, but you can only redeem to the maximum of $200 a year. And these rewards must be redeemed by December 31st. If you don't do that, they are going to disappear from your account, and January 1, 2022 will start all over again. So very different from some products that we've had in the past. When you can roll them over and keep them for year over year over year, you cannot do that with WebMD One. And incentives right now can only be redeemed on a website. So we are trying, the software engineers are trying to get that to be a function of something that's on the app. But as of right now, you cannot do that. You have to use your computer to redeem your awards. And the WebMD One portal can be found at kehplivingwell.com. Every single person on this 180,000 person account across the Commonwealth must create an account. The app is called Wellness at Your Side, and the connection code once again is KEHP. And then the watch, you want to make sure to connect. How is this? Apple just doesn't play well. You need to connect MyFitnessPal, which is owned by Under Armour, to your account on your computer, and then you can sync your watch to Fitness Pal. Okay. Just a little bit about sleep. I think that there's been obviously some great information in the last, for sure, 12 years to how important sleep is. So you are going to see more of that within the WebMD1 portal. Everybody after 7 or 9 hours of sleep, you get restoration, right? So if you want to really be restored and revamped for the next day, good quality sleep is imperative. Sleep duration can contribute to key health outcomes like your blood pressure, like decreasing your risk of cardiovascular disease, obviously enhancing your mood, decreasing your risk for depression, tolerating pain, dealing with your diabetes and obesity. Sleep may help clear toxins from your brain that build up while you are in awake hours. Cutting sleep by as little as 1 hour can make it difficult for your focus for the next day and can certainly slow down your response times. Not getting enough or at least enough quality sleep can contribute to all kinds of learning and processing issues. I think we all see that in our students. It can have a harmful effect on long-term health and well-being. How to improve your sleep. Practicing a relaxed pre-bed routine. It's kind of funny. All of us that have kids, like we do that, right? When we raise our little ones, like, okay, we need a bedtime routine, whatever that looks like, reading a book, getting everybody just to, to be on a good schedule. And yet we don't as adults. So it's really, really, really helpful to do that, even on the weekends, even though we stay up a little bit later, still to go back to that really great pre-bed routine. Have a supportive mattress, have good supportive pillows and bedding, minimize potential disruptions from light and sound, optimizing your bedroom temperature, maybe how it smells. Aromatherapy is a great thing. There's like wrist lotion that helps, lots of lavenders and things that I've seen on the markets. Disconnecting from your electronic devices like your mobile phone, like your laptops in your lap for at least 30 minutes or so before you want to get quality sleep. And then obviously monitoring your intake of caffeine and alcohol. Avoid consuming them a few hours before bedtime would probably be super beneficial. Physical activity. I don't think I need to do this with this gang, right? Everybody knows it definitely is hugely beneficial, but at the same time that I say that, I also want to reiterate with WebMD, it isn't like we wanted to focus 100% of the effort and of all the initiatives and these engagement activities on physical activity. Everybody knows it's important to move, but it's also important to realize that all those other dimensions intersect at some point. So sometimes, we may do physical activity as professionals, not only because we know it's great for our body, but because we can help deal with mental and emotional health and cope better because we do it. So lots and lots of times, right? Eating disorders are not really about food. Eating disorders are really about the way we cope and emotional and mental health issues. So a lot of that. Obviously, I would say, being that I love to teach fitness classes and group fitness, like I don't love to run. So I've never been a big runner because I don't enjoy it. So it's really important for you to just think about in decision making and helping your students and your peeps with decision making and behavior change to do things that you love to do. If you do things you love to do, you're never going to skip it. You're never going to make up an excuse. All right. How am I on time? Physical activity break number 2. Okay. Is everybody good with doing one more activity since we've been sitting for a bit? All right. Move yourself to a space. And thanks for those of you who were champions already, who got on and did those steps and stretches. Just march while I'm chatting. Step and stretch webinars that we did for the past bunch of weeks. I think we did 5 Thursdays in a row. Thanks so much for doing that. So I think one day I had 299 people on a webinar. Pretty cool for like the 180,000 people. So big inhale up, big exhale out. Shh, one more. Big exhale. While you clasp in the rear like you did before and lift those arms, I want you to lift your knees. Knees to the chest, knees to the chest. Yes. Good. Release. Go ahead and do that in front, up and over like you've got a big resistor ball. Open up those shoulder blades. Yes. Relax those shoulders back and down. Little flip kicks out to the front. Awesome. I don't know if you can see my feet. I'm trying to move back. All right, 4, 3, 2, relax. Shoulder shrugs to the rear as you march. Yes, stop, go the other way. Good. As you're marching, take that right arm in front of the body. Let that palm go to the ceiling. Yes. Keeps that shoulder nice and flat. Go ahead and reach and pull that arm unit into your core. Let's get a great deltoid stretch. Yes. How about a tricep stretch? Overhead, not pulling on your joint exactly, but some fleshy part before or after, depending on your flexibility. Walk your fingers down your back. Yes. And release. All right, left arm in front of the body. Start to rotate, turn that palm up to the ceiling, keeps that shoulder flat. See the difference? All jacked up, relaxed. Good. Pull that unit into your core. Rear delt stretch way out there to the side. Good. Overhead, tricep stretch. Walk those fingers down your back. And release. Okay, yay. 2.5 minutes-ish or so. I always try to do that. How can we say, hey, here's what you should do. Never sit down in front of a screen for more than 20 minutes without moving. So I try to practice what we preach. Okay, for some more bandwidth. Mental health and stress. Signs and symptoms of mental health and stressors. Stress can affect our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, all of those things. We talked about that. They intersect. Some of the physical symptoms that may happen, right? Headaches, stomach aches, chronic pain, insomnia, can't sleep, fatigue. Remember, lots of primary care physicians will say, you know, I did all these like vital sign checks and I don't know, I didn't see anything. But then I start asking about relationships, work, all those things, and that is it. So really, really, really important. Changes in mental health, such as excessive worry or fear, feeling sad and depressed, a loss of enjoyment, substance abuse, sometimes all of those can be potential signs. Avoiding social friends and events. And obviously we've kind of been pushed into that this past year and 4 months. So a lot of us are having, you know, it's fun to get to an environment where we're like, yay, we are doing some face-to-face things. Yes, we are getting more vaccinated. We can take off our mask. So hopefully people will get back to a semblance of having really, really optimal social health. But obviously that's been a huge thing with the pandemic. Overuse of alcohol or drugs, inability to carry out activities or to cope, right? To handle daily things. And there's always going to be daily things. How does KHP benefits help with mental health? Live Health Online Psychology and Psychiatry is an Anthem benefit. So I wanted to point some of these things out because I just think it's important that you know that we are trying our best to align services with various different types of preventative benefits for you. Rethink, I think I mentioned that to you already. Rethink is that behavioral benefit that is open to everyone. KEHP for state employees has all kinds of EAP services. The Living Well program and what you can find on WebMD One, our portal, our resources. We've got videos, we've got quizzes, we've got some articles and more in terms of resources for mental and emotional coping. Daily habits plan. You can absolutely set yourself a daily habits plan. In order to tackle some of those things. Obviously, you just need to stay connected and to listen for those notifications. It's definitely a tool. I'm not saying it's the best thing. Some of you are like, I don't need an electronic accountability. Some of you may go, I don't need that because I already have a life coach or a wellness coach. But there's lots and lots of different resources that we all are trying to offer. Stress less activities, meditations, take a little walk. You know, there's a million things for you to tune into in terms of senses and smells and sights around you that may just help out. It just really builds tools for your coping mechanisms. And I thought we would do a quick meditation break. Here's what I use, and it might not be a bad idea just to, some of you probably already use it, but I do a lot of times, sometimes it might take me 10 minutes, but sometimes I can do it in 3, is basically like a progressive relaxation activity. So I would just ask everybody to sit in your chair, uncross your feet, put them flat on the floor. And what we're going to do is we're going to do intermittent contractions of muscles and then slow relaxation. So if you start at your feet and you crunch up your toes, whether you're like me in flip-flops or you're in tennis shoes or heels, contracts, and I'm talking with all of this contracted. Now what I want you to do is very gently let that go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Let's go up the legs to quads, right? So whatever you do, put all your concentration in your quadriceps. You're going to you to take and
I think we lost her.
did you lose me?
No, I can hear
Am
you
I
now.
back?
You're back.
Okay.
You're
Sorry.
just freezing a lot.
I don't know why. I have my video off still, I think. Okay, so if you did that contraction of your glutes in your seat, just relax them. Now shoulder shrug. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Try to keep your breathing nice and normal. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good. Now all your facial muscles, right? And some of you are like, no way, I'm on camera. I'm not doing that. My students used to go, do I have to? But I would squinch up all of my facial muscles and try to continue breathing. And now release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so just an example, right? Just one example of some ways that you can do all kinds of different meditative things. And I do some guided imagery, and I have some of my favorite websites that I use myself, et cetera, et cetera. So let's see here. I think that's it, Mimi. I think I just wanted to plan a few minutes. I think I have my timer set for 2:53, but I definitely wanted to do a Q&A. So if there's any questions that anybody has and you want to come off of mute and ask me, or I'm totally amenable, totally open.
Yes,
So-
Miss. Okay.
Go ahead, Frank, go ahead.
Miss Demling, I'm trying to create in the application in an iPhone, but
Okay.
it got yes, the account, but it got a lot of issues. It says it's not proper the way I'm putting the username and I'm doing it. It asks you like your date of birth, following by the 2 initials of your name,
Yes.
the last 4 digits, and I'm putting like that, and it's not accepting. It says like
Okay, well, a couple things that we've had that has been happening in the last, since January 4th, since the launch, is when you put your date of birth in there, you need to put in your 6-digit. Are you making sure you do that? So mine's January 1st,
Yeah.
31st. Yes, you've got
I'm
your
putting the
6-digit in
zeros.
there.
Yes.
And then you've got the first 2 letters in capitals of your first name, not your
Mhm.
initials, correct?
Okay, the same, yeah. My name
So
is
what is-
Frank FR.
Right.
Okay.
And then your last 4 of your social. What is the pop-up message, Frank, that you're getting?
Well,
Is it whoops or is it something else?
yeah, I say whoops, yeah. That
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, so I guess the only 2 things that we have seen that's been kind of predominant is people are using their 6-digit date of birth or their 8-digit date of birth. In the lines where you go down to fill out your username, right? Did you make up a username and you made up a password?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are also saying that the passwords are not the same. And I'm checking and double checking and they're the same too. So I don't get it.
Okay, well, you know what? Why don't I do this? Why don't I invite you to a let's see, how do we do that the easiest, Mimi? I guess if you could just give, well, I'll just give you my email address, and it's actually on this PowerPoint, which is being recorded. Frank, call me and I'll work with you one-on-one. You and I can share a screen and we can do this together, or I can get on the phone with you and we can call the help desk and go, what in the heck is going on? I've had to do that in, I don't know, 600 of these. I have had to get on the phone, or I've offered to get on the phone like 5 people, and we've gotten it just, reconciled right away. So if you're okay with doing that, can we just do that one-on-one?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. I'll get you in. No worries. We will get you in.
Okay.
Any other questions or anything that you have heard about that you want me to escalate to WebMD, to my leadership team, or the vaccine we did just put on like 2 weeks ago. So you do, it's kind of nice to work for a company where we can say, hey, we're begging people to get these vaccines for prevention and to get our society back open. Can we incentivize people? So you can get $5 or $5 for getting your vaccine. All you have to do is go to, I think it says immunizations, and then you drop down box and find which one it is. Did you get the Moderna? Did you get the Pfizer? Did you get the J&J? And then you put in your, again, your date of service, and you don't have to put them both in. You can put either one in, the first shot that you got, or well, with 2 of them. If you do the J&J, then that's just a one-shotter. But $5 for getting your vaccine. So again, because we've been listening to you all as boots on the ground, we've gone back to the company and said, hey, let's incentivize people and give them bucks for doing that. Any other questions or any other comments, anything that you've seen? Hopefully, again, this just gives you some ammunition to how can I already do as a physical education, health education specialist, lots of these things. How can I be involved in my own wellness committee at my school? How can I help us to, get some recognition? And lots of you are already doing amazing things. So I think sometimes I need to provide an avenue, maybe do a huddle or something with just health and PE folks to go, hey, what's working at your school? What could work over here? Again, just providing a platform like Mimi does of collaboration and how we can get some things going. Anybody else?
Okay, so I just posted the validation question for this session in the chat. Michael, you did the validation question for the last session. You need to do them for this one. You just didn't know that this is your first one being here. So you will open up this form and answer the question. And Lisa, I need to apologize to you. I realized I didn't give you the session links for this morning. So I have included you on an email that I'm going to go out tonight, and it will give you a way to watch a session if you want, so you can get your PD for that. And I will include you. I just didn't think to put you and Craig on there. My little Craig.
Thank you.
My little Craigie.
JJ.
Hey, Mimi.
Yes.
Hey, it's Jackie. I was the one that went mobile. I'm on my phone. I had to drop my daughter off at her doctor's appointment. I don't have chat on my mobile. It's not allowing me.
Send me an email and I will email this question to you.
Okay. I'll email you back. Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks you guys so much, and thank you for all that you do to contribute to the health and well-being of yourself, your students, your families, and I really appreciate getting to be a part of this. So hopefully lots of you are coming to the Summer Kentucky Shape, and I'll meet you there.
We have 40 people that are coming to Kentucky Shape from JCPS.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you have already filled out the form, I'm going to let you go. Kim, I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to hit the stop record button.